Today we are testing the Fisher CZ6A Quicksilver. I used one myself, believe it or not, in the 1990s. They were very expensive detectors at that particular time. This particular one has got no speaker, so I've had to attach an external speaker to it, which is fastened to my coat with the microphone. It's not that loud, but it'll probably pick up the signal just about, I would have thought. Turn the sensitivity down because it doesn't like it up there. Preset sensitivity on these is 2. So if you leave it on 2, which makes it very, very stable, it doesn't find an awful lot. So the temptation is to actually turn it up a bit further to give you a bit more welly, but then it becomes a bit unstable. When it's sort of in its unstable mode, it's pretty deep, but you do get deep nails with it and things, so it's about getting a happy medium, really. I've got a discrimination on iron. It will give an iron tone, such as when we're going over iron, and then, of course, it will give higher tones should the conductivity be higher. I've got the ground on the standard preset, which is 5. Volume is for welly, really. The over preset is 5. I've put it into boost, so we got a bit more fighting chance to actually hear the signals, and I've got it in normal mode as opposed to salt. Then we've got the pinpoint button. I think the original one was the CZ5, which had a speaker, and then we brought another one out called the CZ6, which didn't have a speaker, which technically made it waterproof. But it had a fancy sort of headphone connector on that, which are very rare nowadays, so I would have thought the CZ6 would be fairly extinct unless you've had a conversion put on it or something. Then we bought the CZ6A out, which did have a normal headphone socket in it, but I say it doesn't work too well on the video when you've got headphones on. So I've got this external speaker, as I say, plugged in. So anyway, without further ado, as they say, shall we go to the gold chain to see what happens with that? I put the sensitivity on 6. It's slightly unstable, but it'll have to be put up there or it won't do anything. So this is the gold chain, 20 inches long, rolled into a ball, 1 inch deep. Well, it kicks it up quite happily on the foil. 5 inch long gold chain. Gives a sort of half a signal on that one. It won't bother with the earring, it won't get that. Small Roman bronze, 3 inches. Coming in the iron mode at the moment. It's just coming in as iron stroke foil there, it's jumping about a bit, so we have to be wary of that when detecting with one of these things. Small pewter button, 4 inches. That again is leaping about between ring pull, foil, iron, that sort of thing, but it's giving a positive signal anyway. Small pewter button, 6 inches. Seems to be turning low conductive things into iron. Pewter button, 7 inches. Goes a bit more welly on the sensitivity. This is when it starts to become a bit unstable. I remember when I was using one of these, I always used to use the sensitivity on quite high to get some depth, but the amount of deep nails I used to dig at stupid depths was unbelievable. Alright, the Coke, see what will come on that. So again, we're whizzing between iron and foil. Mainly foil. So it is a bit of a grayer area in terms of rejecting Coke. Large copper ring, 10 inches deep. Yep, 8 inches deep. thin copper ring. And coming in as iron, sensitivity a bit more welly. It seems to be seeing everything as iron at the moment. 177 pallets, no chance. Galena, 6 inches. Same as a Coke signal. Let's go over the gold chains again. Yeah, they're sort of stuck on foil. I mean, you'd be quite happily digging that if you weren't trying to feel for Coke. The 5-inch gold chain. Yeah, they're sort of giving very similar signals as well as a small Roman bronze. Right, we got iron cord 2 pence. Oh, that's locked on ring pull, so you have to dig up your iron cord 2 pences quite happily. That's a crown bottle top. Likes that one. 2 coins, low and high conductivity, 8 inches deep, 1 inch apart. I was guessing it, which isn't telling me there's 2 targets down there. I was guessing it. Same again, only 3 inches deep. Yes, it's whizzing between 2 different targets. So it's seeing both of those. Ring pull and 20 pence. There's the ring pull, which comes on the screen as a ring pull, 20 pence, which comes on the screen as a ring pull. Low and high conductive coins with a steel staple in the middle, 3 inches deep. Good overload signal there. Seen 2 coins, but it isn't telling me there's any iron down there, but you'd be digging it quite happily anyway. Right, onto the low conductive coins. 5 pence, 4 inches. The foil area again, 5 inches. 6 inches. 7 inches. 8 inches. 9 inches. No, not quite on there, but 8 inches is pretty good on a 5 pence of the age of the detector. Let's try the cut quarters. 2 inches. 4 inches. 5 inches. Nope. You can see it's slightly unstable, but say unless you run it like that, you're not going to get an awful lot out of it. 5 pence, 4 inches on edge. And down the length. 5 inches. Same. See if that wasn't as iron. 6 inches. Yeah, it's something amiss with the 5-inch one. We'll just get him a 6-inch one. 7 inches. No. That could be seen as instability, really. Right, onto the high conductive coins. We'll start with a Georgia 3rd 8 at 8 inches. Find a 9-inch one from somewhere. 10 inches. There's a mixed one-way signal there, whether you dig that or not. I suppose I would. 11 inches. No, it's more. Seen it as iron now. Georgia third, halfpenny on edge, 6 inches. No problem with that one, 7 inches. Yeah, likes it down the length more when it does across. 8 inches. Turn the sensitivity down a bit. So, but as soon as you turn the sensitivity down, yes, it's very stable. You don't get false signals, but you don't get anything else either. Go back to the 7-inch one. No. Back up with the sensitivity. Right, Cartwheel pennies. Where should we start on those? 11 inches. 12 inches. 13 inches. 14 inches. Not really. Yes, we turn the sensitivity down to 4 and going over 12-inch one, there's nothing there. 11-inch one, just about. Cartwheel penny on edge. 7 inches. Seam that as iron for whatever reason. Get it that way. But not that way. 8 inches. Must be a bit of an iron down the 7-inch one hole somewhere. These concentric coils do not like anything that contains or is near iron whatsoever. This is a 9-inch one. And down below. A lot of these signals are very vague, as I say. Onto the silver coins, we have a Victorian silver threepenny bit at 6 inches. Sixpence, 7 inches. Shilling, 8 inches. Edward penny, hammered, 6 inches. Hammered threepenny bit, 8 inches. I think it's on the edge of its ability there. Just about, probably. Silver threepenny bit, 8 inches. We work for you a bit better with headphones on instead of a speaker, which isn't doing a great job, really. Sixpence, 9 inches. Yeah, sort of one-way signal there. Shilling, 10 inches. Onto artifacts, 4-inch deep musket ball. That's another one with a bit of iron somewhere near that concentric coils don't really like. Large musket ball, 7 inches. Small bottle, 6 inches. 8 inches. Fibula, 3 inches. Sees that as iron. 5-inch fibula. Also sees that as iron. Let's see if we can do this super deep one. Also on its bottle, 15 inches. Let's get that. Large musket ball, 10 inches. Not going to get any of these. Be difficult targets. I'm finishing off with the iron targets and Hoards. The horseshoe, 6 inches. Jumping about a bit, but it isn't going anywhere near the iron, so we're presuming it's a non-ferrous signal, which of course it isn't. Iron bottle, 6 inches. 20 pence, 8 inches deep, with 3 nails sitting on top of it. Yeah, it gets that alright, which surprises me. 20 pence, 8 inches, 3 nails, 4 inches above it. Yep. Won't get that. Won't get that. Large nail, 6 inches, with 20 pence sitting on top of it. There's the iron. Move it to one side. No, I'd see that as iron. Halfpenny, 6 inches, Coke, 1 inch. That's a Coke coming in under foil. That's giving half a beep on the halfpenny. I wouldn't be digging that. Penknife. Horseshoe, 2 inches, 20 pence, 6 inches. We've got the overload there. Not going to get that. 20 pence, 2 inches, horseshoe, 6 inches. Gets that quite happily. Onto the Hoard, 6 halfpennies stacked on top of each other, 11 inches deep. Yep. 100 mixed coins in a pot, 20 inches deep. Nope, I wouldn't be digging that. 6 halfpennies in a row on edge, 2 inches deep. There's the overload signal coming. An iron from that way, and should be non-ferrous from the other way. Yep. It's just a matter of getting your sensitivity right on these. If you pump your sensitivity up too high, then you get all sorts of weird signals. And from experience, you end up digging a lot of deep nails. So it's a bit of a trade-off, really. Do you want to keep it stable and keep it really low, but everything shallow, or do you take a risk and pump it up a bit? This is probably one of the most annoying detectors I've ever had. Couldn't do anything with the damn thing. You knew that the power was there, but you couldn't actually use it, so just ended up digging loads of iron with it, because as soon as you took the actual sensitivity over 2 or 3, then it started to lose its discrimination powers, and of course it became totally unstable. Very annoying thing, but takes me right back, this does. They're very good on the beach, apparently. I've never actually used one on the beach, but I don't think you'd get many really sort of annoying little tiny bits of aluminium with it, because I don't think it's good enough to pick them up. But it'd certainly be great on coin-sized objects. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll be back very shortly with another video. Bye for now.